So during my time as a home bartender, I've made over 1,000 highball cocktails. In this video, I'm going to be sharing everything that I've learned. If you're a home bartender like myself and you're interested in making high quality highball cocktails, then this is the correct video for you. My name is Ron Veerman. I'm a full-time medical doctor and I've been a home bartender for over 5 years now. During that time, I've learned how to make over 100 different cocktails and I've thrown over 50 cocktail parties. And I teach other busy professionals how to make cocktails at home. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing the 3 most important pieces of advice that I feel will help you guys make high quality highball cocktails. And like I said in the intro, I feel very qualified to speak on this topic because during these past 5+ years, I've made well over 1,000 highball cocktails. And there are really 3 things that I felt have been very important in terms of making high quality highball cocktails. And let's get right into the video. So let's get right into those pieces of advice. The first is to go ahead and use high quality sodas. And I made actually a separate video on this channel talking about that. But my 2 favorite soda brands for sodas for home bartending are going to be Q mixers like I have here with the grapefruit soda, and the other one is called Fever Tree. And I've tried tons of these soda brands over the years. I feel like by far these 2 are the best, and they make a variety of different sodas. I would say the most important ones are going to be grapefruit soda like the one I have here. That's going to be the standard for your Palomas. Then there's also ginger beer, which is going to be for your Moscow Mules and Rum Bucks / Dark and Stormies. And then also the third most important one, I would say actually there's really no order. Those 3 are definitely important. So grapefruit soda, ginger beer, and then the third one is tonic water. And that's going to be mainly for your gin and tonics. And both Q Mixers and Fever Tree make high quality versions of all 3. Just for my own personal preference, I use Q Mixers for grapefruit soda, and then I use Fever Tree for ginger beer and tonic water. And not only do they have the basics covered, they also have a few fun varieties. I know for a fact that Q Mixers has a hibiscus ginger beer and a tropical ginger beer, and then Fever Tree, the other one, has a blood orange ginger beer, and then Fever Tree also has an elderflower tonic water. So it's not just about the basic sodas, they also have some added variety. And both of these 2 soda brands are also not overly sweet. So I found like these 2, that's why these 2 are the best brands. They're readily available throughout the United States and abroad as well. They're also not overly sweet, and then they also have fun variations. So if you really want to make high quality highballs, the first step is to get high quality ingredients, and that starts with these sodas. So for your grapefruit soda, ginger beer, so tonic water, those are the most important ones. Go ahead and use these specialty companies, Q Mixers and Fever Tree. Obviously, some highballs just use standard sparkling water. So there's a number of different brands. Topo Chico and San Pellegrino are some of the most important ones. And some also just use standard sodas like a lemon lime soda or a cola. So those you can just use the standard commercial brands. You can use Coca-Cola or Pepsi Cola. You can use Sprite or Starry for the lemon lime, for example. So definitely start with high quality sodas. Then the other important piece of advice that I would give, so number 1 is to use high quality sodas. Number 2 is to use the proper technique. And the technique that I use both in real life when I'm making cocktails for myself and other people, and also the one that I share on this channel. If you watch any of my videos on how to make a highball cocktail, this method will be introduced in there. And that's going to be the sandwich method. I call it the sandwich method because I pour half of the carbonated ingredient into the bottom of the glass, then I pour the non-carbonated ingredients on top, and then the other half of the carbonated ingredient above that. Essentially the carbonated ingredient is the bread of the sandwich, and then the other ingredients are going to be the components of the sandwich, the meat, cheese, vegetables, etc. So just for an example, if you take the standard whiskey highball, which is just 2 ingredients, it's going to be 2 ounces of whiskey, and then so it's going to be 2 ounces of whiskey and then 4 ounces of soda water or sparkling water. The way most people make it, they'll pour the 2 ounces of whiskey into the glass first, and then the 4 ounces of soda water or sparkling water on top of that. Obviously ice in there as well. So that's the standard way to make it. The way I make it, I put the ice in the glass first, and then the first 2 ounces of the soda water, then the 2 ounces of whiskey, and then the final 2 ounces of the soda water. So the soda water sandwiches the whiskey in between it. And the reason I think this method is the best, and in terms of the amount of compliments that I've gotten in terms of my highball cocktails, I get far more compliments when I use the sandwich method as opposed to when I don't. The reason I think it's better is because the bubbles and the effervescence from that soda, they get incorporated throughout the entire cocktail as opposed to just sitting on the top, or in even rarer cases, sitting on just the bottom if you pour it first. If you pour it on both ends, top and bottom, then you get that incorporation throughout the entire drink. So I feel like the drink has more, it's just better mixed and better incorporated when you do that. So the second piece of advice I'll say is to do the sandwich method. So just to recap so far, number one piece of advice for making high quality highball cocktails, go ahead and use a quality soda brand. The two that I recommend the most are going to be Q Mixers and Fever Tree. Then number two piece of advice is to use a high quality technique. And the technique that I recommend for all highball cocktails, no matter what the soda is, and no matter what the sparkling ingredient is to go ahead and use the sandwich method. And then just the third tip is going to be more of a bonus tip. You don't necessarily have to do this all the time, but if you really want to make your highball cocktails stand out, then go ahead and use quality ice. So this is the basically rectangular prisms or Collins spears. This is the ice mold from Cocktail Kingdom, and the link will be in the description below. If you pair this with a highball glass, I also have the highball glasses from Cocktail Kingdom, so it's a great combination, both the glass and the highball spears. So this is not as practical when you're doing bigger parties for, let's say, 10, 15 plus people. But if you're doing a small party, or you're hosting it, you're just having a date night with your partner, or you're just hosting one or two other people, let's say something like that, then you can go ahead and break out the Collins glasses and use these Collins spears. Or the other case would be, let's say you're doing a big party, but it's somebody's birthday, or somebody's celebrating a promotion at work, or some other big event for just one person or maybe two people. Then go ahead and give those people the special glasses and the special ice. They'll really appreciate it. I did this for one of my friends. It was her birthday, and the signature drink of that party was actually the ginger, the Moscow Mule. And I both had the regular Moscow Mule, and from Q Mixers, I had their hibiscus ginger beer, so I also had the hibiscus Moscow Mule. And for everyone else at the party, we all got just got the standard plastic cups, like solo cups, for example. But for her, she had the actual Collins glass, and I used these Collins spears to make the ice for her drinks. So that's just one example. So if you're hosting a big party, but you have one special guest, like a birthday person or somebody that's celebrating something, or you're just having a party with one or two other people, or you're just hosting one or two other friends, or date night, for example, and you want to do something special, go ahead and purchase this. To make highballs, you can just use the standard ice cubes, the standard 1-inch ice cubes that I typically use for my drinks. But if you want to do something special, go ahead and purchase this ice cube tray. It's a bonus tip that'll really level up your highballs and make them even better. When you have high quality ice, you have this giant ice spear that's going to look really impressive when you put it in a highball cocktail glass, and you pour the Paloma or the Moscow Mule or whatever other drink you're making into there. So just to summarize, I would say the most important tips are going to be the first two. So one is go ahead and use high quality sodas. The brands that I recommend the most are going to be Fever Tree and Q Mixers. Number two piece of advice is the proper technique, and the technique that I will always swear by, the one that I use every single time I make a highball cocktail, is the sandwich method. So what that means is you pour half of the carbonated ingredient into the bottom of the glass, then you pour the non-carbonated ingredients in the middle, and then on top of that you pour the other half of the carbonated ingredient, so it sandwiches the other ingredients in, which leads to better incorporation of the effervescence and bubbles throughout the entire drink, as opposed to just layering on top or bottom. And then finally, a bonus tip, I should say, if you really want to go from great to amazing in terms of your highball cocktails, is to go ahead and purchase a dedicated ice mold for Collins spears, and also purchase dedicated glasses, Collins glasses. You can get both of them from Cocktail Kingdom. They'll be linked in the description below. So if you really want to, if you've already mastered the other techniques, you feel like your highballs are really high quality, and you want to do something special for a date night or somebody's birthday party or something like that, then go ahead and invest in the ice mold and the glasses for highballs specifically. Anyways, that's all I have for today's video. If you found the advice helpful, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really like to do two types of videos on this channel. One will be like this video, where I do general tips and tricks and share advice from my own home bartending journey, and share stories from my home bartending journey that I feel will help you guys become better home bartenders. And the second style of video will be tutorials on how to make specific cocktails. Anyways, thank you. Cheers.